guys, so we bringing something to you today. And I know this probably sounds very minuscule in the grand scheme of things because most folks would say, "Oh, just take it to the oil change place up there." But this truck here that we're changing the oil on today is one of the. It's pretty much the main farm truck that takes the brunt and beat and ditches jumped and cows chased and all that kind of good stuff. So I like to change oil in this truck myself because I like to get up on the truck and make sure everything looks good. All the joints and so on and so forth are greased, and there's no leaks or whatnot under the truck. So this truck's got a 6.0. It's a Chevrolet. It's got a 6.0 V8 in it, and it takes 7 quarts of oil, which you'll see. Excuse me, 6 quarts of oil. So you got 5 quarts of 10W40 right here, and I like to use the Lucas heavy duty stabilizer because this truck's got some miles on it, and it's just a little bit of extra protection for internal engine wear and a multitude of things. So also I like to use Baldwin oil filters, and this is the oil filter for this truck. Um, so that's pretty much it. We got to get up under the truck. I got the drain pan up under, got my tools laid down. I'll take the oil filter down with me. That way I can change all that under the bottom side before I have to come back out from under the truck. And when I come out from under the truck, everything's done. So again, I know this sounds very minuscule, but there's a lot of people that have no idea how to change oil on a vehicle. And if this is something that can help somebody, then hey, by all means, maybe you learn something from this. All right, guys. So hopefully you can see this drain plug here. This is a 15 millimeter. I got my 15 millimeter 6-point socket on 3/8 drive ratchet, and so here we go. Obviously, get our lovely drain pan in place. There's the oil drainer. And this don't take very long. It'll take probably a minute, minute and a half, something like that. And that's just because I let it drip a little bit. And the oil filter, I'll show it to you. It's literally it's right here, and we'll get that changed out here as well. I've got my oil filter pliers for that. Makes it a lot easier. And this oil's got about 3,500 miles on it. That's probably, some people would think that's a little excessive changing oil, but again, like I say, this truck actually gets rode pretty hard. So we try to keep it up, keep it serviced, just because it's just a good practice to do. All right, guys, so we're fixing to tighten this drain plug back up. Now, I'm sure that these things have torque specs and so on and so forth, but I like to get it hand tight. And I got my helper right here. She's wanting to help change oil as well. But I like to get them good and snug, and then just give it, maybe a good grunt, and that's about it right there. That's plenty. That's more torque than that thing probably requires. But it's plenty. So here we go. Now we're fixing to get to the oil filter. It's a little aggravating, but it's not very hard. And this can get a little messy. We'll get our drain pan up under here in just a second. We'll get it where we can take this thing off by hand. And it's going to be a little warm, so just stay with me, because I'm not going to have to bring it on down when it starts to drain out. So that little bit of oil right there will run out for just a minute, and it'll stop, or at least slow down to the point where I can grab it and actually take it on down and get the old one off. There's the old filter. One thing you always want to remember, guys, is on your oil filter, this ring, this gasket sealing surface that's on here. You always want to make sure on the old filter that comes off. And you see, I got a little bit of oil on my gloves and everything here. I like to wipe a little bit of that burnt oil around this seal, just to kind of make it, when it tightens up, it doesn't tear or rip this O-ring. But as you'll see, you look at this old one. I don't know how well you can see that, but the old one is on there, so that's what we want. So again, wipe you a little oil on this thing. It helps with sealing, and we're fixing to put this dude back up in there. We'll get our filter pliers and snug this thing up. There's a lot of rules of thumb. I mean, there are torque specs on these oil filters as well, but a lot of rules of thumb. Sorry if I made a bunch of noise and you couldn't hear me. A lot of rules of thumb on this thing. I like to get them hand tight and give them about a quarter turn. I've never had one back off by doing that, and it's probably hand tight here. My hands have got a little bit of oil on them, so it's kind of slipping on here, but we'll make sure we get her good and tight, or good and snug, rather. You don't want to over tighten it. You can break the filter and cause the filter to leak. So for the most part, guys, everything under the truck is done. Now everything takes place on top. So we're gonna get out from under here, and we'll get back with you here in just a second. All right, guys. So here we go with the 5 quarts of motor oil. This is a 10W40 motor oil, um, kind of a general purpose oil, if you will. Uh, that's typically what we buy it by the cases, and this is kind of what I always run in this truck with that additive I talked about earlier, the Lucas oil stabilizer. All right, guys. So here we go. So this Lucas. So I actually took the funnel out. This stuff is pretty doggone thick. And typically, what I'll do is I'll just dump this over in the oil fill hole right here and just let it sit until it runs out. I mean, it's just like draining oil out. You're not going to get every bit of it out, but um, I'll let it sit for probably 5 minutes or so and let all that's going to come out in 5 minutes and that be done. And then we'll get the truck set back down off of the ramp over there, and we'll crank it, make sure we got oil pressure. We'll check the oil in it to make sure the oil level's full in it. And I'll show you guys how I keep up with my miles and everything as far as changing oil, because it's something that I see all the time because I check oil in this truck. Again, it's a very important truck for us. So I'll show you how I keep up with my oil changes here in just a minute. So here we go. Lucas going in. So there's the cap going back on, guys. And again, we'll check it. Once we get it off the ramp, we'll check the oil, make sure it's full. If not, we'll take this cap back off and add what we need to, because there's your dipstick here. But we'll get back to you on that in just a second. So this is actually, I mentioned a while ago one way, but I actually do 2 different ways, and I'll show you this. But here again, here's one. So I take a piece of masking tape, again, going up under the hood, checking the oils, fluids, things like that. When I open the hood, I see this. So this is a piece of masking tape here. And as you can see here, that 191 232 is the current mileage on the truck, plus 3,500 miles equals 194,732. So I'll write that on my piece of tape. 194,732. And this, what I'm writing here, is actually the oil filter number. There you go. All right, guys. So here's my other way of keeping up with this, because obviously I'm getting in the driver's door, so this is kind of eye level right here with me. And I'll take a little brake clean on a rag here, and like this number here. Ain't anything you're really gonna see. So that little bit of purple you see right there, it don't matter. Doesn't hurt anything. So now I'll let that dry for just 1 second. And I'll come back in here with my dry erase marker that's not really dry erase. And I'll write in here in that spot 19472. And that's the next mileage that we'll change the oil in this truck. And this truck also has an oil change light inside of it. And I'll get Lassie here. I'll show you guys how to reset this thing. It's not the same on every vehicle, but this particular one here, I'm gonna step inside and I'll get her to come up here. I'll show you how you reset the oil light in it. So on this truck, you're probably not going to see it because I'm not going to crank it. Well, actually, I will crank it. But the way to reset this oil light on this truck is you turn the switch to the on position, and you'll push the gas pedal to the floor 3 times. That resets your oil light. So now we'll crank it. I know my dash is dusty. Don't laugh at it. But here's our oil pressure gauge right here. We'll crank the truck to make sure it's got oil pressure. And we got oil pressure. We'll let it run for a second, let everything kind of get mixed together there, and then we'll go out there and we'll check the oil level here in just a second. All right, guys, so here we go. We're fixing to check the oil level in the truck, make sure everything's full. So obviously we'll pull this dipstick out. We'll wipe it off with a rag first to get all the oil off of it. And then we'll reinsert it into the dipstick tube here. Let it sit for just a second. Pull it back out. And as you can see, it's full of oil. All right, guys, so there you have it. That's changing the oil in a 6.0 Chevrolet motor engine. Says not a lot to it, and I know it probably seems like kind of a corny video, but again, you know, if you don't know anything about this, maybe to help you learn something. And if you like the video, comment, subscribe, give us a like, thumbs up, whatever you want to give us. Appreciate y'all watching. Take care, and God bless you.